All right, y'all, we're back. My name is Jared Atal. I'm an audio engineer here in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been working with a church here in town called Zeal, and this is an original of theirs called So Good. I've kind of walked through on making a broadcast template and how I would do that. Today, I'm going to talk about doing it with stock plugins. I've never done that before, so it's definitely a challenge. And I just looked up what plugins came with Pro Tools here, and I limited myself to that. And I guess I do have a VU meter. Okay, forgive me, but I do have a VU meter here, but that's not affecting the sound at all. So we'll be cool with it. This is my second attempt at this. My last one I just had to scrap. It just took so long, and then I didn't have my audio routing, and it's so frustrating. So if I seem a little on edge or it's not because of the stock plugins. It's just because this is my second attempt at doing this. So I printed a rough mix, and this is what I'll do when I have a client send me a mix or something. I always bring the rough mix into my session, and I'll put it right under my mix bus. And I do that because I can highlight both. So I can click on this and just press Shift and P, and it'll highlight both. And if I mute one, if I go Shift and M, I can flip between my mix and the rough mix, and I'm constantly doing that because I'm not trying to change a ton. I'm just trying to build and just find places that I can refine and make better. So I'm trying to be subtle. Now this is going to be a massive difference because this is a live recording and it's not fully there, but I do want it there just so we can compare what it was like with the good stuff and now with the free stuff. So here is where we left off.
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves. You've been faithful.
And here's where we're starting.
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down.
Pretty crazy. We're hearing that rough again. So I've got just some these trim plugins I use just for setting my gain staging in a live broadcast world. The signal's coming to me from the board. I don't have any control of the preamps or whatever, so I do use trim plugins to set my gains and stuff like that. So start with our mix bus. I've got this here doing the same thing, just trying to get some low end lift and some high end lift here.
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down.
Let's get a little brighter, a little deeper. And then I'm using this impact, just a typical mix bus setting. I've got a low ratio, a slow attack, fast release. Don't want to see this thing moving. Probably not moving right now.
Walking on water as I'm singing now.
Yeah, good starting spot. Okay, moving along here. Let's start with these rooms. I always like to start with my rooms.
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring.
Yeah, I just want to get rid of that sub and kind of just shape it a little bit so I'm not getting in the way of things or having my low end build up. So
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the wind.
I use this Focusrite plugin on these EQs. Pretty good start. Just get my kick-in mic, my kick-out mic, kind of functioning the way I want it to.
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me.
My kick-in mic I really want just for the click and the beater on the head. That's really what I'm trying to get from my kick-in mic. My kick-out mic, I want more body and a little more picture of the kick drum. And then on my kick bus here, that's when I really start shaping them together, like on how they're building up together.
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down.
Sometimes I get sound together with the EQ, and especially on these, I'm running out of bands. Like on a Pro Q3, I don't run out of bands, but on this I do. So, and sometimes you'll see me do like an EQ here, and then I'll add an EQ under it, even if I'm not out of bands. Sometimes it's just a decision that I want to be able to bypass by itself, instead of having to find the bands to pull in and out here. Or it's like I have an EQ decision that I made, and then how it reacts to a different thing that I did, then I'll just put another EQ after it. It's just easier for me to visually see that, and also be able to deconstruct what I've done. So that's why you'll see like multiple instances of EQ and stuff. So it's like after a while, I was like, I still have this weird build up here. So I'll accentuate that. Just wanted less of that, and then a little more low end here. Kind of dig what this. Just filtering it, starting to filter out my low end on the bass. We've covered this before, but for those of you that are new here, filtering, this doesn't mean that everything below, I have this at 42 hertz, is non-existent anymore. I'm just starting to shape it. I'm rolling it off. It's the same on my mix bus. I do have a filter going on here, much softer and a little lower. It's just, I just want to my low end, I just want to just start massaging it away. I don't want to just attack it all with like one filter. I want to just start shaping it from the top, and so that's what I did there. I do like this. Sans amp is great. Let me see here. Let me boost this. Where it'll... Just giving me some saturation so I can just hear it poke out a little bit more. It's a pretty dynamic part, as we have discovered from before, so I'm going to hit it with a couple compressors here to start just giving me that squeeze. So I'm using this Bomb Factory 76. Want a little more saturation here, so I'm using the distortion and saturation on this lo-fi. Wanted some more low end, some more sub information here. So I'm going to get rid of all that. Obviously, adding a ton of gain there, so it's hard to compare the two, but I think you get it. Moving on. Yeah, let's work on this snare. Check this out. Just 2 moves. Pretty incredible, the difference there. Let's gate it. On this too, I love gates with side chains because I'm not even using it, because I just want it listening to certain areas. This way I can, like, the hi-hat's not triggering it, and just helps me let my triggers be a little more accurate. So I can kind of focus in on where my snare drum is. I'm using this Smack compressor here, just actually clipping all of it. So yeah, I like this. I had some distortion on it that I can use. I love distortion. Helps me just get my sound where I want it to go. Check this out. actually wanting to soften that up a little bit. I'm not liking it, hearing it back now. Let's get this snare bottom mic. Again, just some cleanup with a couple EQ curves. Cool, and then over here, this is where I'm shaping my two mics together. So I'm going to EQ them together based on how I blended their sound there. And this is what it was. A little more thickness there. Pultec is so good if I'm just wanting some thickness. Let's get some room going on this. Here's my toms. Same thing, just a couple EQ moves here. It's big dip, big boost. Big dip, big boost. Get her done. Versus. Yeah. And then some EQ as them together. Let's throw them in our room, just because. And then some general shaping on my drum bus itself. Just had a little build up here. Again, just trying to help my low end just get massaged on the way down. I'm going to bring in some of my parallel compression. I'm using this smack again. I'm going to do some parallel distortion here because we love distortion. I just get a lot more length out of my snare drum. Like, it just gets more splatty, like, and I just love that. Distortion does wonders. So the piano, just getting a little squeeze. It gets a little more energetic in the chorus, so this might be hitting 2 around there. But again, just trying to get some consistency on my dynamics there, cleaning up a little bit, just for some clarity. And then on my guitars, this is like a 3A, an LA 3A, and then I don't know, I picked this EQ mid-band, sounded okay on it. Let's check it out. Kind of waking up that mid-range a little bit on the guitar. This over here is my tracks. I'll come back to this when my vocals in, but these are just trying to get a little more happening out here, and this is just kind of I just boost it and just see where my vocal starts disappearing or getting clouded by the tracks, and then I just pull that out a little bit, and that's where that landed. But let's check out our vocal now. Let me get rid of all my solos here.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves.
See what the sidechain does here.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves. You've been faithful, and I'm so grateful. How good you are, how good you've been, how good you're gonna be.
2 compressors on vocal is just like us common practice. It's just it just makes it so much smoother. Instead of just trying to get all of my reduction and happening here, my dynamic control happening here, this thing would be buried, and I don't want that. And especially on these stock plugins, I don't want to just like overwork them. So I'm just trying to be subtle. So I'm just doing a pretty fast attack, just trying to grab peaks here and then smooth it out slower here. And yeah, I feel like it's wrangling it decently.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not.
Yep, gonna get a slap going. I use this lo-fi just to this sample rate roll off is just like the coolest sounding filter. It's great. It gives me that, you know, help give me the telephone vocal-y sound on my slaps that I like. And then just using, you know, simple 1/8 delay here, no feedback. I could add some feedback though, lengthen it out a little bit.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder.
Plate verb.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down.
I'm just using the filters that are built in here and using some pre-delay.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with
Pretty sweet. Let's see this width.
walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring.
Let's see if we can't saturate that a little bit. Get this going.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves.
Just trying to get it to peak, smear a little bit more here instead of just being so arrow this way. Just get it a little more like bigness.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down.
Cool. Let's get some super vibey verb going.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves.
Yeah. Where are we at here? Okay, maybe some drum room.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves. You've been faithful, and I'm so grateful. How good you are, how good you've been, how good you're gonna be.
All right, let's see where we're at here.
Walking on water, as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves.
You know, I don't know. There's a lot more happening on this one than this one, you know. This current one is, I would call, a pretty simplistic setup, you know, all stock plugins. And we're, you know, getting our way there. And it's possible. It's just mostly based on ears. It's just, you know, the tools help and can make it easier. Obviously, there's some things happening on the other mix. They're not the same, you know. I feel like the imaging's better, the vocal is sitting better and stuff like that. But, you know, we can get it done. And sometimes there's been so much time in my career where I just felt like my mix was trash unless I had a certain plugin or I saw something on YouTube. And if I'm not doing it the way the guy's doing it, then it's not as good. And this was such a nice reminder for myself to, like, when I'm using different tools that I've never used before, like I've never used this Smack plugin before, and I've never used, I mean, it's been years since I've used these gates, and it just puts you in a corner and makes you have to rely on your ears instead of relying on what you typically do with a tool. And sometimes it can produce some results where you're like, dang, why don't I always do that? So it's really nice sometimes to get out of your comfort zone and use tools that you're not always using. And to be honest with you, even making this video, I was making this video on the last time, my first attempt at doing this, and it just really, it's an uncomfortable feeling, because it's like, I've done things a certain way and you get super nervous about it sounding good, and especially sharing it with people and stuff. And it just made me feel like super vulnerable, because I'm like, man, is this even going to be worth sharing? Is this even going to be like noticeable or what? But it's, the point stands that the tools don't matter. They help. They certainly help, but it's just about doing it. I just have to remind myself that I just need to sit down and do it. And any excuse that I'm making in my head for why it's not good, or why I can't do it, or that I need to wait until I get this so that I can do that, that's just all barriers I'm making up in my own mind to stop me from doing the work. And I need that reminder sometimes, because sometimes I just need to sit down and do the work. And thinking that a plugin is going to save me, or a program is going to save me or make me better, it's just not. It's just not. And I have way too many plugins because I used to believe that. And yeah, it's tough. But here we are. Stock plugins.
Walking on water as I'm singing now, with your hand upon me, I'm not going down. So bring on the thunder, bring on the waves. My eyes are fixed on the one who saves. You've been faithful, and I'm so grateful. How good you are, how good you've been, how good you're gonna be. You stay the same, you never change. You've been so kind to me. Come on, let's sing it out. For how good you are, how good you've been, how good you're gonna be. That's right. 'Cause you stay the same, you never change.
Thanks for checking it out, y'all. And let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.